KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right
Making
now.
headlines this morning, Hillary is not a tropical storm anymore, but it is still unleashing flash floods across parts of California and Nevada. Up next, where the rest of the storm goes from here.
All right, Mother Nature, you're on. Let's see what happens this week here in South Central Texas as we have experienced another scorching weekend here. And we'll talk to Mike Osterhage in a moment. Good morning, everybody. We've made it to Monday. It is August 21st.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I'm glad you're with us this morning, too.
A lot of kids are going to go back to school one more time, starting a brand new week for some school districts. So that's exciting. Parents are getting all the stuff ready right now.
You have a script right here?
Yeah, and it's a big back to school week. Once again, districts in our area going back to class today, including Comal ISD, Medina Valley, New Braunfels, Somerset, as well as Southwest ISDs all return to the classroom today. From all of us here at KSAT, we hope you have a great school year. To see our complete list for back to school, check out KSAT.com.
Look at all the hype out there. It's also the first day of class for UTSA. To get students pumped up last night, the university hosted its Midnight Light Pep Rally event. The UTSA main campus filled with lights, color, and lots of music. It's one of UTSA's most exciting traditions that brings students, faculty, and staff, and of course, the school's mascot, Rowdy, together to show off their Roadrunner spirit. All right, Mike Osterhage is here with another back-to-school forecast. You were out last week. I hope you got away from the heat somehow.
It stayed inside most of the week.
Okay.
So I was thinking about poor Rowdy there in that mascot costume last night because it was still hot last night.
They pay a price to be mascots, don't they?
Yeah, another hot day today. At least we get that little chance of rain that we've been talking about. So that's going to be coming in here starting later on today, mainly tomorrow. So first of all, yeah, we've got some mostly clear skies out there. It's hot out still. We're still hovering at 86 degrees. Same thing there at Canyon Lake. Humidity, though, is not bad. These dew points are down in the 60s right now with the mostly clear skies. So that'll let us drop down another 5-6 degrees before it's all said and done. But we've got heat index readings, 91 Canyon Lake, 87 out there at the airport as of right now. Satellite picture, nothing showing up. But we look off to the east, and there's that system. Now, this may actually turn into a tropical depression before it makes land. That's not really going to matter what's in a name. It's still going to be a rain producer. Yes. Now, it's kind of qualified because not everybody's going to be seeing rain as this moves on shore. Primarily, it's going to be down another south, but it will also maybe scare up a stray shower or two by later on this afternoon. Don't get too excited about that. We do, of course, have the heat advisories, excessive heat warnings in effect later on today. Of course, red flag warnings remain in effect for the very high fire danger. This morning, we are going to be dropping down to 80 degrees, partly cloudy skies, one or two clouds left over around here. But yeah, we are going to be hitting 103 again today, partly cloudy, a shower. Don't count on that. But like I said, better rain chances tomorrow. What happens after that? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Tiff, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. San Antonio police need your help finding a girl they say disappeared this past weekend. Noreia Rivera was last seen Saturday afternoon on Paramount Avenue in the city's inner west side. She was wearing a white crop top hoodie and jean shorts when she disappeared. If you see Rivera or know where she is, call the SAPD Missing Person Unit immediately. That number is on your screen and on our website, KSAT.com.
Now to the latest on Hillary, now making its way across California and Nevada.
Flash flood and high wind warnings are now in effect across the region. And as ABC's Justin Finch reports, some desert areas have reported receiving nearly 1 inch of rain in an hour.
This morning, high alert from Southern California to Nevada as Hillary churns north, packing gusting winds and heavy rains. More than 42 million Americans facing tropical storm warnings. California's governor declaring a state of emergency as the mayor of Los Angeles warns of an unprecedented weather event.
Stay safe, stay informed, and stay home. The worst of the rains is potentially left to come.
In Southern California, rain-saturated streets are making for treacherous driving conditions, leading to crashes. In Thousand Palms, California, streets unpassable.
We are flooded.
Multiple flash flood warnings in effect. Ahead of the storm, a rush to stock up on supplies and fill sandbags.
hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst.
Amid the hammering storm, the swaying light signaling a 5.1 magnitude earthquake in Los Angeles.
Our studio is shaking right now, so not only are we dealing with a tropical storm, but it appears we're now dealing with an earthquake.
This is the first time we've had a magnitude 5 since 1932 in exactly this location.
Crews have stacked large sand berms along the shorelines to shield against powerful waves.
This is what we look for.
Kiteboarders at San Diego's Pacific Beach taking advantage of Hillary's high winds as it moved north after making landfall in Baja California, Mexico, and leaving severe flooding behind. So far, no reports of damage or injuries from that earthquake, which experts say is unrelated to the storm. President Biden says he's deployed federal resources to assist California and Nevada as needed, as forecasters warn of residual storm impacts, including mudslides and tornadoes. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
In the Woodlands near Houston, 16 people were taken to the hospital this past weekend with heat-related illnesses during a Snoop Dogg concert. Happened Saturday at the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. The venue is outdoors and temperatures were in the triple digits. Officials with Montgomery County Hospital say a total of 35 people were treated by medical professionals. All of those who were treated are reported to be in good condition.
Former President Donald Trump says he will not participate in the first Republican presidential debate. The debate takes place on Wednesday in Milwaukee. Trump confirmed his decision on his social media platform, Truth Social. He said the public knows who he is and knows of his accomplishments as president, and therefore he will not participate. A Trump advisor said the former president could still decide to show up in a later primary debate despite his post on Truth Social. A second debate is set for September 27th at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in California.
President Biden is headed to Hawaii today to see what's left after the destruction left behind by Maui's wildfires. He is set to meet with survivors and talk to relief workers. Many Lahaina residents are likely to tell him about their frustrations with the slow initial federal response. It comes as we're now seeing new video of the fires in Maui showing what firefighters faced as they arrived to the small town of Lahaina engulfed by fire. Officials say 85% of the destroyed area on Maui has now been searched, and the death toll stands at 114. 437, 84 degrees.
Up next, how the San Antonio Red Cross is giving people help and hope following the wildfire disaster in Maui.
Checking traffic right now, see how things are looking out there. We had some leftover construction a little bit earlier, but traffic is slow on that one side of that last shot, but we've already jumped to the next one, so we'll try to sort things out.
Another hot morning, 84 degrees. It's only going to get hotter, but some possible showers. Mike will tell you all about that coming up next.
440, welcome back. Days after the devastating wildfires began sweeping across the island of Maui, our San Antonio Red Cross deployed 2 of its members.
Courtney Freeman found out what those volunteers are doing right now to help the thousands in need.
No matter where disaster strikes, those in need can look for this and know they're not alone.
Volunteers are there to just give comfort, to be able to be there for them, to have that hard conversation.
Dr. Jeremy Roberts is the chairman of the board for the local Red Cross and says many of those tough conversations right now in Maui are about missing loved ones.
So if somebody has a family member, a loved one in the affected area, we're able to make that connection through our supply chain.
He says San Antonio and Hawaii have a special military connection.
There's a lot of military personnel that want to make sure that their families are okay.
Roberts says the Red Cross in general has received 1,360 reunification requests and has been able to complete 400 so far.
The 2 people from here in San Antonio that are now in Maui were specifically requested for their skills in logistics and sheltering.
One of them is Ralph Lips, who is managing the movement of supplies to the shelters.
A lot of our volunteers are cross-trained in many aspects. They can do sheltering, they can do damage assessment, they can do disaster action team, which goes out into the community and helps out by figuring out what their needs are at that time.
Mac McNell is the local Red Cross Volunteer Disaster Program manager and says his volunteers are helping at the 11 emergency shelters that have been set up.
We've also been able to provide more than 25,000 meals and snacks to people that have been affected.
And this level of devastation means there will be many more meals to serve, which is why monetary donations are so important.
$25 would be able to provide food and shelter for 3 meals a day for an individual.
While just 2 San Antonio volunteers are on the ground in Maui right now, this group will be prepared if they're asked to send more.
That was Courtney Freeman reporting. Like they said, monetary donations are best. The Red Cross already has a set supply chain and can't accept food or blankets from the public, but you can donate online or by calling 1-800-HELP-NOW or texting 90999 to make a $10 donation. And if you can't donate money, consider donating time. Head to the website or call 210-224-5151 to become a volunteer.
Monday morning time check, 443, still 84 degrees.
Still ahead, using past pain to protect others. It's what a San Antonio dad is stressing to pool owners across the Alamo City. His message to parents next.
And next, the latest invasive species posing a threat to the U.S. Why the yellow-legged hornet, not a frog, hornet, could destroy honeybees.
Welcome back. A new invasive species has been discovered in the United States, the yellow-legged hornet, which experts believe could destroy honeybees. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, it's the latest invasive species posing a threat, the yellow-legged hornet. Experts believe that this one invasive insect, discovered earlier this month by a beekeeper in Georgia, could destroy honeybees, which help maintain this country's $15 billion produce industry.
We're working with our federal partners and scientists from UGA to develop and implement a plan to trap, track, and eradicate any additional hornets.
Their egg-shaped nests can hold nearly 6,000 insects. It's a concern for state and local governments who will need to keep fighting the spread of the insect through the fall.
We're hopeful that this is very early in the introduction, and through our monitoring and mitigation efforts, we will be able to get in front of it.
So where could the yellow-legged hornet spread to next? It's all coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Back here at home, there's still plenty of sun and pool time left to enjoy this season, so we still have to be cautious when it comes to drownings.
Patty Santos talks to a father who knows that tragedy all too well. Now he's trying to protect other families.
We didn't realize he had learned how to open the door. And so by the time we knew it, he was already halfway to the pool.
Fear drove Mary Vasquez to immediately install a fence around her backyard pool.
I'm gonna find a way to get in.
She says her 4-year-old grandson is showing signs of autism and is extremely drawn to water.
He's just, without any fear, he's walking right into it.
Autistic children, they're 90 times more likely to drown than your average child.
Jason Sheffield, owner of Lifesaver Pool Fence of the Hill Country, just got done installing the fence. After every job, he offers families safety advice.
Teach your kids to swim, survival swim.
He's made it his personal mission to save families from the nightmare he experienced. His 3-year-old son died by drowning.
Tomorrow is the 7-year anniversary of the day that he drowned. He was the 90th child in 2016 to drown. 107 actually drowned that year and died. This year we're at 56.
Texas child drowning statistics show 3 Bexar County kids under the age of 4 have drowned this year so far. 2 of them drowned in pools.
Get a fence, keep your kids from getting in a pool. Lift up on the latch.
For families like Mary, installing a fence is half the cost
and you can let go and it closes.
Of what a funeral would be.
Instead of funeral and the guilt that you're going to live with for the rest of your life doesn't outweighs the cost of the fence.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Let's check traffic real quick. And we saw a few flashing lights earlier. This is 1604 at Northwest Military. I assume that's lingering construction from the weekend, which should be wrapping up in about 10 minutes. We do have other construction causing at least 1 lane blockage, and that's 35 south past 1604. 1 lane is currently blocked. But that's it right now.
We know traffic will pick up.
Yes, indeed, with more and more kids going back to school and everything.
Today.
So, it was nice to see some clouds around yesterday, but I thought, no, didn't help out as far as temperatures. Still got up into the hundreds. Here's a picture of some of those clouds that were left over yesterday and that little bit of a waxing crescent moon. Thank you very much for that shot there. And we are starting off this morning. Well, first of all, yesterday, 100, like I said, and that is, we're solidly in 4th place. And as things are looking right now, we will surpass 2nd place, 3rd place, as well as 1st place by this weekend at least. So that's it's not a good forecast as far as that goes. But in the meantime, we do have that rain chance. We're starting off with mostly clear skies this morning, and we are going to be dipping down to 80 degrees. Have some clouds hanging around here. Warms up very quickly. Same kind of temperature scenarios the past couple of days. And yes, that is a 10% chance for a stray shower or two. I wouldn't get really excited about rain chances today, but at least there will be 1 or 2 of them out there. And again, we're looking off to the east. This is the disturbance out there in the Gulf of Mexico. It may become an actual technically tropical disturbance, but that won't really make any difference. It's going to be a rain producer, but only for parts of the area. So here's a computer model going in through today. A couple of clouds hanging around here. This one does pick up, again, 1 or 2 showers. They'll count them on one hand today. Then in the overnight hours, we'll start to see more rain moving in down there around Corpus Christi. They're getting a decent amount of rain from this, and that system will continue to move inland. Yes, we will have a couple of showers around, but the majority is in the southern half of the area, and especially down to the south. And it's either feast or famine, because there is the chance to see a few heavier downpours down to the south as well. That will continue to work its way basically straight westward into northern Mexico. A couple leftover showers in behind that, and then that's it. Now, as far as the tropics, boy, the last time I looked at this about a week ago, there's nothing out there. We've got the disturbance in the Gulf, and then we've got 3 named storms and another one that may become something, but none of these are going to have any impact as far as our weather is concerned. But again, we are looking at that system there in the Gulf of Mexico to move on in here and give us the rain chance. It'll only be for basically about a day. So we've got a stray shower or 2 possible today, and then we've got the 40% chance for stray shower, a couple of thunderstorms, primarily to the south tomorrow. 1 or 2 of them around here. Again, the majority are going to be further to the south. And 96, believe it or not, we're only going to be at the normal high temperature tomorrow. So at least that'll break our consecutive streak of triple-digit temperatures. And then it's going to be back to the triple digits, maybe a leftover shower Wednesday. The encouraging thing, though, is even though we're going to be up in the hundreds going into the weekend, subtle changes to where there could be a stray shower or 2. Again, the better chance of rain, primarily down to the south, is going to be tomorrow.
Everyone's hoping they're that percentage and they're in there.
Up in the hill country, no,
so much,
unfortunately. But folks down to the south, you'll be getting the majority of it. So,
all right, thanks, Mike.
452, 83 degrees.
Barbie bumped by a beetle. Up next, how DC's latest superhero flick was able to fend off Barbie after 4 weeks at top of the box office.
5 till 5, a competitor finally bumps blockbuster Barbie.
We have that and more showbiz news from ABC's Chuck Severston.
Host acquired.
Who said that?
Systems checking. 3,
okay,
2.
Barbie bumped by a beetle. The DC Comics superhero film Blue Beetle led weekend ticket sales. A modest $25.4 million opening, say studio estimates. It's the first DC movie to star a Latino superhero. Show Maridueña. The Beatles' bucks were enough to dethrone Barbie, the highest-grossing Warner Brothers release ever domestically. Nearly managed to stay #1 again with $21.5 million in its 5th weekend. It's raked in over $1.25 billion globally. The other half of Barbenheimer was also still strong. Oppenheimer took in $10.6 million in its 5th week. It's the biggest hit never to be #1 at the weekend box office. Oppenheimer has taken in over $717 million worldwide. In 4th place, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem acquired $8.4 million. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is sharing a message of support and solidarity amid deadly wildfires in Maui. The Fast and Furious star posting a video of love and support on Instagram.
Thank you guys around the world for all of your love and your support, your light,
The Rock also saying that Lahaina should be rebuilt with the Hawaiian people in mind and with their say. Country star Casey Musgraves is 35 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
So many great movies to watch.
I know, yes, indeed.
I need to go to the movies. All right, time 4:57, 83 degrees.
We're now seeing new video of the fires in Maui showing what firefighters face as they arrived in the historic town of Lahaina. Up next, how President Biden hopes to help when he visits the island later today.
Plus, how the quick thinking of a local 12-year-old saved his family. We'll hear from him just ahead.
And as we check TransGuide right now, 90 at couples, no problems to report there. As a matter of fact, I think the shot is frozen. But Steven's back from assignment. He's in the studio. We'll have a look at weather at 5:01, and Steven is coming up around 5:03.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Flash flood warnings and high winds reported as Tropical Storm Hillary lashes its way through Southern California. I'm ABC's Justin Finch in Washington with how the White House is responding this morning.
Very warm out there this morning, only down to about 83 degrees. A different system could bring us a shot at a shower or storm this week. Mike will have more on that coming up. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, August 21st.
Thanks for joining us. A cafecito sounds nice, or maybe an iced coffee, too.
Absolutely. Anything to deal with another back-to-school week, beginning again, starting with today. The districts in our area going back to class today include Comal ISD, Medina Valley, New Braunfels, Somerset, as well as Southwest ISDs, all returning to the classroom today. From all of us here at KSAT, we hope you guys have a great school year. To see our complete list of back-to-school districts, check out ksat.com.
It's also the first day of class for UTSA. To get students pumped up, last night the school hosted their Midnight Light pep rally event. The UTSA main campus was filled with lights, color, and music. It's one of UTSA's most exciting traditions that brings students, faculty, and staff, and of course the school's mascot, Rowdy, together to show their Roadrunner spirit. Let's check in with Mike.
You know, thinking about the back to school and everything going on, don't forget the countdown is on now to Pigskin Classic this weekend. All the action starts Friday. Added another game Friday night and then 3 of them on Saturday. So, all right, good thing that's in the dome this weekend. That's all I have to say about that. Right now we are starting off at 84 degrees. The bottom number, dew point at 64. That's not bad as far as humidity is concerned. So heat index right now is at 85. Now, 103 for a high temperature today. So we're going to rack up another one, not only the total number of triple digits, but also the consecutive streak, which is well into the 20s now. And we are going to be seeing the aquifer continue to drop down. Well, it actually went up a little bit yesterday, but the overall trend is going to be to drop down. And unfortunately, with the rain that is coming in the forecast, not a lot of it's going to be falling in the recharge zone. Mold is also on the low side from yesterday's reading. Heat index readings out there right now. What it actually feels like, still 89 up the road at Canyon Lake, 83 Castroville, and 85 in Gonzales. But with this drier air in place and the clear skies, we should see temperatures dropping down somewhat. Now, we've got clear skies, like I said, maybe 1 or 2 little clouds out there, but the focus is out here in the Gulf of Mexico. This is the disturbance. It may become technically a tropical depression later on today, which really won't matter as far as the rain. It is going to move on in here. There could be 1 or 2 stray showers. That'll be it. You know, count them on one hand later on this afternoon around the area. But better rain chances move in here than tomorrow. Now, today is a CPS Yellow Conservation or Conserve Energy Day, and you can scan the QR code to find out more about that. Of course, we have heat advisories, excessive heat warnings in place, red flag warnings still in place. These, I think, are going to be for the foreseeable future. Partly cloudy, warm, and humid this morning. Then 103. Now, a shower or 2 is going to be possible today. Then tomorrow, we'll have some scattered storms, mainly down to the south. Folks up in northern parts of the hill country, probably not going to see anything as far as any rain is concerned. But with the extra cloud cover and some of this rain, that's going to hold temperatures in the mid-90s. So that'll be nice. Then it's back to the triple digits. Although along with that, even a stray shower. We'll talk about that. Closer look at the weekend forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Cavazos. Good morning, sir. Happy Monday. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Well, thankfully, no major issues over here in the traffic department. Things are moving pretty normal for this Monday morning. 35 at Topperwine. We did have some road work that was taking place this early overnight, I should say, but a lot of that work is wrapping up. Take a look at 281 at St. Mary. Not a lot of traffic right now, but if you have to hit the roads, just be on the lookout. We do at least have one stalled vehicle reported there at 281, near 281. That's 410 eastbound. We'll get that pinpointed in our map just in a few minutes. But as I mentioned earlier, we did have a lot of that overnight construction that was wrapping up. We had that big project along Loop 1604 that took place over the weekend. And I did talk to our friends at TransGuide early this morning. The good news is it does appear that work has wrapped up, so shouldn't cause any delays if you plan on hitting the roads in the next few minutes. And if your destination is the Alamo City, that journey from Bernie along I-10 eastbound should be about 25 minutes at this hour. 26, not too bad if you're heading in from Bulverde this early along 281 southbound, and it's not too awful from New Braunfels, about 28 minutes along 35 southbound. Let's get one last look around town. There's 37 at Hackberry. Looks like the shot may be frozen out there and a little pixelated. I'll talk to our friends at TransGuide, and I'll have more updates for you a little later this morning. Mark.
Stephen, people living in a northeast side neighborhood dealing with damage from a major water leak yesterday that's still causing an outage this morning. Neighbors on Grandwood Drive near I-35 on Randolph Boulevard say the leak was so bad at one point the wheels of some cars were underwater. Right now, there's no official word on what could have triggered this major burst. According to San Antonio Water System, this is labeled as a Priority 1 water leak, which is considered an emergency. The website shows there are 10 of those Priority 1 leaks across the city. In all, SAW says it's in the middle of investigating 127 leaks in total.
The quick thinking of a 12-year-old saved his family. Just 1 week ago, his grandma was driving the family on 410 near South Presa Street when she had a seizure. Again, this happened on 410 near South Presa Street. The 12-year-old boy says he noticed his grandma was shaking and couldn't speak behind the wheel. His first instinct was to stop the car. With the help of a few Good Samaritans and the San Antonio Fire Department, he helped to save his family.
I thought I lost her when it happened on the road. And if I wasn't with her, she probably wouldn't be here anymore because of a crash.
Cal says he loves watching videos of race cars and playing video games about driving. He says that's how he knew to press the brakes, turn the car off, and pull off to the outer lane.
U.S. Customs officers in Roma, Texas, down on the border, find more than 20 packages of cocaine on a commercial bus. They're reporting the incident happened back on August 12th when the bus went over the Roma International Bridge and was stopped for inspection. K9 units found what was around 50 pounds of coke inside the bus, estimated to be worth around $380,000 of that illegal drug. Well, now a new dramatic video from the early hours of the devastating wildfires on Maui.
President Biden is preparing to visit the islands later today. And as ABC's Andrew Dimbert reports, Maui's fire chief is now giving a first-hand account of how bad things really are.
This morning, new videos of the wildfires on Maui, showing what firefighters faced as they arrived to the historic town of Lahaina, engulfed by the fire. At one point, flames surround a fire engine before firefighters are able to escape. In his first national interview since the fires, Maui's fire chief getting emotional.
The firefighters are hurting. This is their community, this is their home, these are their people. Nobody in our department is unaffected by this. We care about our firefighters first and our community as well. And if they can't go to work in a healthy way, then it's difficult for them to serve.
Officials say 85% of the destroyed area on Maui has now been searched. President Biden will see the devastation firsthand today, meeting with survivors.
Hear their stories and provide a sense of hope and assurance that the federal government is going to be with them as he has directed, and we will continue to bring in resources to support the requests of the governor and the needs as they go through their recovery process.
Local residents have been critical of the federal response, including the $700 relief checks announced by FEMA, some saying that's not nearly enough to begin rebuilding their lives. There is hope and resilience amid the rubble. Worshippers still gathered for Sunday service at a coffee house 23 miles away from their now destroyed church. And the area's famed 150-year-old banyan tree is still standing and, according to experts, still alive, undergoing life-saving treatment.
We checked
underneath the bark of all the lower trunks on the tree, and we found that there's still live tissue. We didn't see any major charring or scarring of the tree.
FEMA says it's distributed nearly $4 million so far to about 1,600 Maui residents. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
509, 83 degrees.
Up next, a U.S. federal judge makes an important ruling about who can use AI-generated art and if it can be copyrighted.
Rallying for basic rights. Up next, what U.S. postal workers say they need in order to continue doing their job safely and what they need most from the rest of the community.
It's very possible that some of you watching and listening right now may be doing the happy dance tomorrow because there is rain in the forecast with an asterisk and qualifications, of course. Mike will have details coming up. Exactly 5:13 on your Monday morning. Welcome back. San Antonio letter carriers are rallying for better working conditions.
They stood in the heat this past weekend, pleading for the postmaster to provide water. USPS stopped giving carriers water bottles last month because of the end of the COVID-19 pandemic. Letter carriers say with the intense heat, it's a safety issue. One worker tells us community support means everything.
We all deserve to be treated like human beings, and the community needs to have their eyes open to see how we are being treated by the post office.
In a statement, the Postal Service said they respect unions, but calls its position inaccurate and largely absent of anything based in reality. They say they made those water fountain improvements and that carriers and all employees have full access to potable water at all times. In that statement, they talked about their heat illness prevention training and also described new vehicles they have coming that will all have air conditioning.
5:14, 83 degrees.
Up next, why X, formerly known as Twitter, deleted photos posted between 2011 and 2014.
Plus, Meta is launching a different version of Threads this week, how it's changing from the current version.
And we are tracking a pretty big power outage, about 7,000 without power near 1604 and I-10.
This includes parts of the Rim, Shavano Park, and Rogers Ranch. As CPS estimates on their website that service could be restored by 7 o'clock this morning. But again, over 7,000 CPS Energy customers currently without power. We're working to get more information.
We'll be right back.
No, I can find someone. They love extra projects. We need promotional products.
I'm on it. Exclusive apparel, bags, high-tech items, and more. 4imprint takes the stress out of getting exactly what you need with the certainty that you'll get your promotional products on time and on budget. Make your go-to choice 4imprint.com.
You can come out now. I'm on it.
4imprint, for certain.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive contains ALA to relieve nerve aches and B-complex vitamins to fortify healthy nerves. Try Nervive and try Nervive Pain Relieving Roll-On.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
In today's Tech Bites, a new addition to the social media landscape. According to the Wall Street Journal, Meta is starting a web version of Threads this week, something users have been calling for since the app launched last month. Use of Threads, though, has dropped in recent weeks. And a glitch on X has cost users some of their photos. Pictures posted between 2011 and 2014 to the site, formerly known as Twitter, appear to have vanished. No comment so far from X's front office. Reports say the problem could be related to a technical change made in 2016. And finally, a federal judge has ruled that art generated by artificial intelligence cannot be copyrighted. A computer scientist sued the U.S. Copyright Office after it refused his attempts to copyright an AI image. The judge said human authorship is the bedrock of copyright law. The thing about AI making art is it really knows how to draw a crowd. Those are your Tech Bites.
What'd you think of that one? His little pun. Okay. Okay.
I don't know if I almost like his pregnant pause is better than the other thing.
Yes. You never know what he's going to say.
He is a true artist when it comes to timing, for sure. Good morning, Stephen.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good to be back with you all this morning. And it's been a busy week last week. And thankfully, this morning is calm. So starting in the early morning hours off with some quiet roadways as we get a look around town. You can't really see a lot of traffic out there, but things are building slowly minute by minute. We're going to see a lot more activity out on the roadways because it is back to school for more districts. So just be on the lookout for those school buses. There's 410 at Babcock. Now, I mentioned earlier there was a stalled vehicle along 410, but that was closer to Airport Boulevard, not too far from 281. Wasn't really causing an issue with traffic, but just be on the lookout for that. As I take you in, a crash appeared there along 410 over near the southeast side. We'll take a closer look at that and find out how it impacts your drive time. But notice this little line of red that we have building on our map. That's actually some road work that should have wrapped up a few minutes ago. Here 35 southbound at Loop 1604. You notice there's a buildup taking place out there. I'll talk to our friends at TransGuide, find out what the delay is, but be on the lookout if your travels take you into the Alamo City. And I want to take a huge drive up here to State Highway 16 in Kerr County because we have paving work that's been ongoing, but better news here, it wraps today. Now, remember, this work starts around 7 this morning, so if your travels take you maybe toward Fredericksburg, be on the lookout later this morning because that work will take you all the way up till 5 in the afternoon. We'll see alternating lane closures in both directions at Wolf Creek Bridge. But you can scan the QR code that's on your screen now. I've updated the list of closures on our website, ksat.com/traffic. There is a whole lot happening in and around the Alamo City. And Mike Osterhage, you have a great shot for us over here to show us from a viewer.
Yeah, if you take away the heat, it was an absolutely beautiful picture with the sunset last night and the water and the sun glistening off the water right there. Yeah, and water's a great place to be with all this heat, and it's going to be another scorcher again. Thank you for the KSAT Connect picture. By the way, 22 days in a row going back to July 30th. Of course, we had that one day right there on the 29th where it was only 99 degrees, and every day of July except for 2 was up to triple-digit temperatures. Anyway, that's going through yesterday, and this is going to be added to again today, and then that will be it because we're going to get a break in the consecutive days tomorrow. Got some clear skies out there right now, and obviously nothing showing up on the satellite picture, maybe 1 or 2 little clouds out there. But again, here is our, can't say salvation. It will give us some rain. It's going to be just a kind of one-day event. It's not going to be any sort of a drought breaker, but I don't mean to downplay this. We'll take anything we can get. Here's a different computer model from last half hour, but pretty much the same solution. We will have a few extra clouds hanging around here, maybe 1 or 2 showers, a couple of them popping up in spots. One hand, you can count them on later on today. But then as we go into the overnight hours, we'll start to see this system move inland, and obviously the majority of the rain is going to be in the southern half of our area. Actually, in our southern counties, Corpus Christi off to the straight west of there could actually be some heavier downpours or too much rain, believe it or not, feast or famine with this. And then we will continue to see a few scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms around the area. This model is a little more generous, getting a few of these further north into, say, the I-10-90 line. Again, it's going to be few and far between. The best thing to take away from this is the majority of this rain is going to be further down to the south. This will continue to work its way off to the west throughout the day. A couple of lingering showers even in the afternoon. Again, this particular model is a little more generous with some of the rain being a bit further north, even into portions of the hill country. Hope for the best. Don't get your hopes really too awfully high for this rain the further north you go. Down to the south, yes, it's almost a sure thing down there. We're going to be dropping into the lower 80s this morning. Then we are going to make it up into the mid upper 90s, already up to 96 at noon. 103 high temperature today. And there's that 10% chance for a couple of stray showers around here later on this afternoon. Then, like I said, the better chance of rain is going to be tomorrow, primarily to the south. That's what the majority is going to be. Further up to the north, it's going to be very kind of scattered to isolated. And in northern portions of the hill country, well, they're not going to see anything. 96 high temperature tomorrow. That's actually the normal high right now, believe it or not. Then it's going to be back to the triple digits. And even by the weekend, maybe still a stray shower popping up here or there. Really few and far between, but things are kind of moved around a little bit in this overall pattern. But
what are we more excited about? Temperatures only being in the mid-90s, or the rain, or all the above?
Both.
All of the above.
All the above.
Yeah.
C.
Okay, you guys are fantastic test takers. 523, 83 degrees.
Up next, more milestones for Oppenheimer, plus a first look at a new documentary that looks at the continuing effects of nuclear weapon detonations at the Nevada test site.
Just about 5:27, despite a hurricane and an earthquake, there's still movie and music news coming out of Tinseltown.
Here's CNN's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Why? How about because this is the most important thing that ever happened in the history of the world?
More milestones for Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan's epic about the father of the atomic bomb has crossed the $700 million mark in worldwide box office. And it's cracked the all-time top 5 of the biggest grossing IMAX releases, topped only by the 2 Avatar movies, Star Wars The Force Awakens and Avengers Endgame.
No one ever warned us about the testing and what it would cause.
My family personally have died of cancer and other illnesses known to be plausible from exposure to radiation.
The documentary Downwind looks at the continuing effects of the 928 large-scale nuclear weapon detonations at the Nevada test site. Featuring Michael Douglas and Louis Black and narrated by Martin Sheen, Downwind is now playing in theaters and on demand.
Yeah, I'm taking center stage, 'cause tonight I'll come first. If you're standing in my way, you better move for me.
Go ahead, call Idina Menzel a drama queen. That's the title of her new album. The Tony winner's disc of original dance and pop songs is out now. Feeling the beat in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
5:28, 83 degrees.
I saw you dancing.
Not this early.
Coming up, President Biden is flying to Hawaii today to try to show support from those affected by the deadly wildfires. Up next, with more than 1,000 people still unaccounted for, why Hawaii's governor says there will be people that are lost forever.
Plus, San Antonio Zoo has big plans for expansions and upgrades just ahead. The changes visitors will soon see that will cost tens of millions of dollars.
And ahead on GMSA at 6, the scorching summer heat has our air conditioners working overtime. We got some ways to save money on your power bill while you're at work.
As President Biden gets ready to visit Hawaii, emergency officials are working for hours trying to help affected by the deadly wildfires.
It's important that the focus remains on the families. The loss and that they've suffered is immense, beyond measure.
Up next, why it's estimated there's still more than 1,000 people missing.
And outside with live cam, 83 degrees, another warm week ahead. Mike has your forecast.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Monday, August 21st. It's another big back-to-school day for Comal ISD, Medina Valley, New Braunfels, Somerset, as well as Southwest ISD today.
And we hope you have a great school year. Before we get to weather,
we are tracking a pretty sizable power outage. Here's a look at the CPS Energy map. About 7,000 customers without power. This is on Loop 1604 on the far north side, east of I-10. It does include parts of the Rim Shopping Center, Chavano Park, and Rogers Ranch.
And traffic signals may be affected. We're working to get more information. But now let's check in with Mike.
And unfortunately, that means your AC is not working this morning, which is not a good thing. Hopefully it gets restored before we start heating up later on today. Got some clear skies out there right now, and temperature stands at 84 out at the airport. We'll continue to drop down a few more degrees because we've got some pretty dry air in place right now. The dew point's down to 64, which you get below 60 and it's pretty comfortable. And that's a lot better than what it has been the past couple of mornings around here. A little bit of a southerly breeze. Still a slight bit of a heat index, a lot of heat index up there in Canyon Lake. Feels like 90, 83 at New Braunfels, at Randolph, and 85 is what it feels like right now out there at the airport. Maybe a couple of stray clouds here and there, some partly cloudy skies, but we are still looking at this disturbance out here in the Gulf of Mexico. It may technically become a tropical depression by later on today. It won't gain any more strength than that, and that will continue to work its way in our direction. Yes, it will bring some rain. No, not everybody's going to be seeing rain from this. Unfortunately, the majority of it's going to be in the southern half of our viewing area, and that's going to be tomorrow. Mold is on the low side. Of course, we still have the heat advisories, the excessive heat warnings today, because we're still going to be up in the triple digits later on today. Red flag warnings, again, with the extremely high fire danger all around the area. 96 at noon, 103 high temperature. Yes, a shower or two, just kind of here or there, kind of on one hand later on today. That's sort of preceding the bigger rain event that's going to be moving in here tomorrow. But again, not everybody sees rain. We'll see who gets some of the rain, how long that's going to last, and then what's in store as we move on into the weekend. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, what's going on out there?
Yeah, Mike, flashing lights over here at 90 at 35. We have a crash that was reported by Texas. Let's get a wider look, find out what's going on out there. We do see at least one vehicle is involved, and at least one of those emergency vehicles is out there already. So that's good news, but no word yet if there were any injuries reported. And as always, we hope everyone's doing okay out there. Tough to see, but I don't spot any paramedics. So that's good news. But you could see traffic is moving through the eastbound lanes of US 90. So we already have a busy morning. Be on the lookout. If you see that, move over or slow down. Earlier, there were at least 2 lanes blocked as we zoom you in there if we can. Again, that was US 90 eastbound and I-35. You're not seeing a buildup just yet because it's very early, but at least one of those lanes is blocked. As I mentioned earlier, it was 2, but we'll keep a close eye on that throughout the morning and hope for a better update soon. Let's take a drive over here, over to the northeast side where we still have this road work that's taking place. Now, this should have wrapped around 5 this morning, and we're seeing that buildup along I-35 southbound past Live Oak. You can see traffic is backed up 2 miles just about to Evans Road. We'll keep a close eye on that area throughout the morning, and hopefully we'll see some of the congestion reduce. But remember, it's back to school, so a lot more folks will be out there on the roadways. Taking a look at some quick travel times here for you. 30 minutes along 37 northbound if you are heading in from Pleasanton. About half an hour, same thing for US 90 eastbound heading in from Castroville. And that arrival from Lytle should take you about 18 minutes along I-35 northbound. But keep your eyes open, guys, because we still have those flashing lights here at 90 at 35. I'll have an update for you coming up in the next few minutes. Mark.
Thank you, sir. It may seem even more like a Monday for some people in a southeast side neighborhood. Their day may start with no electricity due to a car crash in the area.
Katrina Weber is live on a street called Utopia Lane off Goliad Road, and she joins us now live. Katrina, was anyone hurt?
Well, according to police, the driver of the car involved in that crash did suffer some minor injuries. He was checked out by paramedics here at the scene, but he may have bigger problems because police did take him away in handcuffs. Now, we still don't know why he was arrested. They haven't been able to tell me, but I can tell you he was in this car, according to officers, and you can see the damage done to that car. For some reason, that driver lost control. This is the only one involved in the crash, according to officers. But check out what's hanging from the back of that car, power lines. Those are live power lines, and that's why police have shut down the street. He did hit a utility pole, splitting it in 2, and those lines hanging there in the middle of the street. This is also the reason for the power outage. According to CPS Energy's map, it's affecting about 5 homes and businesses in this immediate area. And again, they're waiting for CPS Energy crews to arrive and address these live power lines that we have in the middle of the street. But again, the driver of this car taken into custody for some reason. We still haven't found out from police exactly why he was arrested. He had minor injuries, no one else hurt here at the scene. Reporting live on the southeast side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Katrina, thank you. The President and First Lady will be getting a first-hand view of the damage in Hawaii caused by deadly wildfires.
The first couple is visiting Maui today. And as CNN's John Lawrence reports, President Biden will stress that the federal government will be there to lend a helping hand to those who have, in some cases, lost everything.
As parts of the West Coast are dealing with the havoc caused by Tropical Storm Hillary, President Joe Biden is focusing on another disaster more than 2,000 miles away in Hawaii.
He's going to be able to reassure the people of Maui that the federal government is there to support them. But we're doing it in a way that's going to allow them to rebuild the way they want to rebuild.
In a tweet Sunday, Biden told the people of Hawaii, quote, "Our entire nation stands with you in this time of grief and recovery."
It's important that the focus remains on the families. The loss and that they've suffered is immense, beyond measure.
As of Sunday night, more than 1,000 residents are still unaccounted for.
Because of the temperature of the fire, the remains of those who have died, in some cases, may be impossible to recover meaningfully. So there are going to be people that are lost forever.
According to financial services company CoreLogic, preliminary estimates show the wildfires caused more than $1 billion worth of damage to the state, with the historic town of Lahaina suffering the most destruction with more than 2,800 homes lost.
Tragically, it took less than a single day for us to lose Lahaina.
in the deadliest fire our country has seen in more than a century.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
As parts of Southern California deal with Hillary, and also got something else this weekend in a state a little more familiar with. U.S. Geological Survey says the area got hit with a 5.1 magnitude earthquake Sunday. It was centered between Santa Barbara and Ventura counties. Residents in Valencia, about 50 miles away, say the quake felt like a slow roll and lasted about 20 seconds. The quake has triggered some smaller aftershocks. So far, no reports of any injuries, deaths, or serious damage.
Police are investigating a mass shooting in Minneapolis. The gunfire erupted last night and wounded at least 8 people. 6 teens between 15 and 18 years old are being treated at the hospitals. 2 adults in their 40s also wounded. Witnesses say there were 2 shooters and both ran away. Detectives say they found 41 shell casings on the ground and believe at least 1 assault weapon was used in the shooting. Police are looking for the people responsible and trying to determine a motive.
Firefighters in Canada continue to battle wildfires in what is considered the worst fire season in Canadian history. 2 wildfires have crews' full attention right now. One in British Columbia east of Vancouver, and the other near Yellowknife, capital of the Northwest Territories. Tens of thousands of people near those fires have evacuated their homes to get to safety. Canadian officials say they've done everything they can to contain the fires closest to more populated cities, but they aren't out of the woods just yet.
Time now 5:40, 83 degrees.
Our San Antonio Zoo has big plans for expansion and upgrades. It's a multi-year plan that will cost tens of millions of dollars. Up next, what families will notice soon and the fundraising efforts so far.
And a look outside with live cam, 83 degrees, 5:40 a.m. Some parts of our area could have some rain this week. Mike has that positive news coming up next.
5:44, the San Antonio Zoo has big plans for expansions and upgrades, and it's a multi-year project that will cost tens of millions of dollars.
That is why Tim Morrow, president and CEO at San Antonio Zoo, joined Leading SA this past weekend.
We talked about a lot. We talked about the new look entrance of the zoo, the expansion of the zoo school, and the goal of having the largest gorilla exhibit across the country. Now, this expansion, it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to be cheap.
The overall master plan is probably around $200 to $250 million, and that's going to be over the next 10 to 15 years. Gorillas is just the big start of what we're doing with this entrance and event center, and so really excited about the long-term plan of the zoo. And the sources we are utilizing to help us fund this are, one, philanthropy, so corporations, individuals, foundations contributing to the zoo. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so we need donations to build and to expand and get better. The city has been amazing with us, with assisting us with funding through the bond and other sources. And then things like new market tax credits, historic tax credits. We're hoping the county will want to participate at some level at some point. And so
you can check out our full conversation with Tim right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com. We have Leading SA every Sunday morning. So guys, we'll see you next Sunday. Back to you.
I'm loving those renderings. Very colorful.
Very San Antonio.
I love it. All right, time 5:45, 83 degrees.
TransSky giving us a bird's eye view of a trouble spot at 90 and 35. Right now you're seeing the frozen shot at 90 and Couples. Just very picturesque, by the way. We'll be right back. 5:48, we're getting ready for this year's KSAT Pigskin Classic. It's coming up, as we say here in Texas, right quick. Tickets are on sale now. Just scan this QR code to see all of the ticket options. It kicks off this Friday, followed by our big triple header coming up on Saturday.
And our KSAT community team is excited to collect donations for the San Antonio Food Bank during all 4 of those games this week. You can scan this code on your screen right now to make a donation, or you can just head to our website, KSAT.com, to see the full list of the items the food bank says they need the most.
Okay, it's about 10 minutes till 6 right now on your Monday morning.
We know everyone's getting ready for school or work, so that traffic is building up this morning.
Yeah, and you got to watch out for issues like this, guys. US 90 at 35. We still have some flashing lights out there. Remember, this is a crash that was reported in the eastbound lanes of US 90 as you approach I-35, a very busy spot for those early bird commuters. So Be on the lookout for first responders, and it looks like that crash may have just cleared. So good news to report out there, but it really wasn't causing a delay because it was so early in the morning, but it was right there along those busy lanes of US 90 eastbound as you approach 35. So no word yet on how many vehicles were involved, but based on that shot at TransGuide, it looks like it may have just been one. So hopefully everyone is doing okay, but looks like that crash again has cleared out. Something that has not cleared out just yet is the road work still out here along I-35 southbound at Loop 1604. Traffic now backed up to 3 miles. Well, just a little bit earlier was at FM 1516. We're keeping a close eye on that. Looks like crews out there are experiencing some delay, but that orange and yellow you see is actually an improvement from the red we saw a little bit earlier. But more work is expected to continue in and around the Alamo City. We have road repairs that are actually taking place along I-10 on the northwest side of San Antonio. This work begins at 9 this morning and should wrap at 8 in the evening, but just make sure that you plan ahead because this takes us to the end of the work week, August 25th. Single lane closures on the southbound frontage road right there at La Cantera Parkway. So just plan ahead. I'm not seeing any delays out there just yet, but we know we had that power outage that was reported a little bit earlier this morning. So hopefully that will improve a little bit later, but better news to report out here at 90 at 35. That crash has cleared out.
And Mike has good news too.
Yes, a little bit of rain. I was going to talk about Pig Scene Classic, and we've got a pep rally at 1 o'clock on SA Live on Friday too. Everybody getting ready for that. So, and even if you're not one of the teams playing, if you want something to do, high school football, what's better than that? And it's inside too.
Yeah, we talk about a way to kick off the season, right? And we got Mike a cot because he's pretty much going to be there all weekend. He's just going to sleep down there at the Dome, or as he calls the turf, home sweet home.
Something like that, yes. So, no, it's going to be just a lot of fun. So come on down there because it's going to be hot this weekend.
We'll be there.
And we have at least some rain. Yeah, something good to talk about. We've got some rain chances here in the forecast. First of all, nice shot of the moon. I like that, pretty in pink tonight. A little waxing crescent moon. It is going to be full on the 31st. So this will make it a blue moon, because it's technically the 4th full moon in a 3-month period in a season there. Thank you very much for that one. Nice view of the skyline from our camera down there at Brook City Base. All right, and we are talking about the rain chances. So today, now we're starting off a couple of clouds. We'll see a few clouds kind of hanging on in here. We had a couple of them yesterday. Didn't really do anything to hold temperatures down. We still hit 104 yesterday. We're still going to be up in the triple digits today. And there will be 1 or 2 stray showers here or there today. Just count them on one hand. Then in the overnight hours, we'll start to see the disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico move onshore down around Corpus Christi. The majority of the rain, this thing's primarily going to move almost straight west. So therefore, the heaviest rain stays down there to the south in our southern counties. And further up to the north, we'll see a few scattered showers around here. Again, don't count on a whole lot of rain from this. There may be some heavier downpours down here to the south. It'll be a nice little break. Cloud cover is going to keep temperatures down as well. This is going to be the situation throughout the day. Again, it's southern counties over there toward the Rio Grande. You're going to be getting some nice rain out of this. Then it all kind of comes to an end, perhaps a leftover shower or two as we go on into Wednesday as well. Jump ahead, and this is a long-range computer model. Got the same situation for tomorrow. And then I want to jump ahead toward the weekend and notice how it does have a couple of stray showers here or there Saturday as well as on Sunday, just 1 or 2 of them out there. And what's nice is we're getting into an overall pattern. Still going to be hot, but at least we're going to be in a position to have a stray shower. We're going to be up to 96 today at noon and then 103 with a high today. And again, that 10% chance for 1 or 2 showers out there. The better chance of rain is tomorrow. Again, mainly down to the south is where some of the heavier rain is going to be. Scattered and lesser chances the further north you go. Then it's going to be back. We stay at 96 tomorrow, back to the triple digits. And the way the overall pattern is set up, yeah, we may see a couple of stray showers, 1 or 2, at least the chances there over the weekend, but still hot.
What a change from last week.
Yeah, but I mean, still going to be racking up triple digits. So.
You're not going to be able to contain yourself tomorrow if you see anything on radar.
That's the thing. We're going to have to get the dust and blow it off radar and everything and get the dust out of there. So it's been a while, but it's going to be nice to see some rain and some folks, especially down to the south.
Thanks, Mike.
Time right now, 5:54, 83 degrees.
Let's take a look at your lotto numbers. Your pick 3, 5, 8, 6, Fireball 2. Your daily 4, 3, 1, 4, 0, Fireball 9.
Cash 5 numbers 13, 18, 28, 29, 30. Lotto Texas 8, 16, 26, 27, 41, and 43. And the rest of your numbers here. Powerball numbers. Powerball is up to $291 million. 1, 25, 27, 38, 62. Powerball 13, Power Play 2. Good luck. Ahead in the next hour, GMSA, a 12-year-old boy makes one of the most important saves of his life after his grandmother has a seizure behind the wheel here in San Antonio. Plus, a northeast side neighborhood dealing with a water leak. What we've been able to learn from neighbors about what's being done to fix it. And up next, nearly a dozen San Antonio restaurants made it to Yelp's top 100 places to eat in Texas list for 2023. Who they are and where you can find them straight ahead on GMSA.